And welcome back to segment 2 here on the Press Box. This week, James Harding, Anthony Machinsky. And Anthony, we're talking NFL offseason right now, specifically Black Monday. Normally the term for the Monday after the NFL season is over for the teams that don't make the playoffs, the day that most coaches and general managers find a pink slip in their stocking still hanging above the fireplace in the team offices. And so we're going to start coach firings already. Steve Spagnuolo out in St. Louis. Raheem Morris out in Tampa Bay. Bill Polian and his son Chris out in the front office in Indianapolis. A few other coaching changes could be on the way. They're saying that Jim Caldwell in Indianapolis could eventually be fired depending on an evaluation by the team. First off, Anthony, talk about Steve Spagnuolo and Raheem Morris being fired in St. Louis and Tampa Bay, respectively.
Well, I don't really want to know. The thing with Steve Spagnuolo is this, and I've always loved him as a defensive head coach. Yeah. He takes over the Jim Johnson thing, and I tell you what, Andy Lurie, I don't know, whoever the owner is for the Eagles, said it today that Andy Reid is going to be back, but Juan Castillo, according to our Sports Talk Philadelphia, Dave Grzybowski, said that Juan Castillo might not be, that he's going to probably be demoted somewhere, whether he goes to offensive line or D-line or something.
Well, he was the offensive line coach there, wasn't he? Or was he the offensive
He was. He was
the
the
offensive line
coach before he was moved to, the terrible defense that they were.
Yeah.
I think...
Except against the Jets.
I do think that Spagnuolo is a right fit in Philly, and I do think that he does go there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's comfort. I mean, he came in, he should have had the job in the first place instead of going to New York, and they gave it to Sean McDermott instead. Give it to Spagnuolo. He was a Philly guy. He did well when he was in Philadelphia. Learned under the legend Jim Johnson. He's going to go there. Now, Raheem Morris is a different story. I don't think he gets a coaching job. Tampa Bay had so much talent last year, and added to that, their front seven should have been one of the best in the league.
Absolutely.
And their offense should have been one of the more above average offenses. Josh Freeman
after last year, yeah, Josh Freeman dropped off.
Josh Freeman, Aurelius Ben, Mike Williams. Yeah, Mike Williams.
Garrett Blount.
Oh, forget it. There's too many people.
Kellen Winslow. I mean, they had too much talent to be as bad of a team as they were, and I completely agree. I agree with you that Morris should have gotten fired. Spagnuolo, it's hard to argue after he had such a it's easy to argue seeing his record, but it's hard to argue knowing that he made strides on defense the past few seasons, but the offense, I mean, how do you deal with your star quarterback getting hurt, your entire wide receiving core getting hurt, your top of the league running back getting hurt for 5 games this season? I mean, the offense was just such a calamity for the St. Louis Rams. I might have given Steve Spagnuolo one more season with a healthy offense and the same defense only added to see what he could have done.
Here's what he lost in that year. He lost 7 defensive backs. He runs a blitzing scheme. If you put no names out there, they're going to get torched. Because let's face it, when you have Chris Long and James Laurinaitis and all them, they're going to go after the passer. If he can't do that, then it's not a Spagnuolo team. And a lot of the thing has been, he's lost 37 or 39 or something like
38.
that. 38 games. I was one off. In 39 games in 3 years. That 1 year was his first year. He went 2 and whatever.
Yeah.
This year, I get it. It was a down year. But this year, I have to look at the injuries. Give him one more year. He fails again. What's so bad? You get another first-round draft pick in a league where it's now so cost-efficient to get the number 1?
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk quickly about Bill and Chris Polian being fired. Bill Polian, the executive vice president of football operations for the Indianapolis Colts. His son Chris Polian was the general manager of the Colts. They had been there forever. Bill Polian drafted Peyton Manning to that organization. He was one of the last people, apparently, to leave Peyton Manning's wedding, according to Peyton Manning's statement on Bill Polian getting fired.
Quite the partier. That's why
earlier,
he got fired.
Bill Polian, he's got to be fist pumping into the middle of the night.
That's why he got fired. He was doing too much
exactly.
drinking.
He was fist pumping too late into the night at the corporate offices. But when you look at it, this really affects Peyton Manning now. This really affects the Colts.
I'm going to make this segue right now. First of all, I'm going to say Reggie Wayne and Robert Mathis are gone.
I think so.
There's no way they come back. But I'm going to use the Polians to segue this. Colts have the number 1 pick. It's been no surprise that Andrew Luck's been one of the top people that everyone's been discussed. Whether you like him or not, he's probably the best quarterback, best available player.
I love Andrew Luck.
You take him, Peyton's pretty much done. He wants to play. He doesn't want to be a tutor right now. He's pulling a little bit of a Brett Favre. Who gets him? Jets.
I don't think so. Not going to happen.
Why not?
Not going to happen. Because if he's not healthy, if he's 100% healthy,
okay, we're talking healthy.
Then you take a flyer on quite possibly the greatest quarterback of all time.
I'm saying healthy, not hurt. Healthy.
It's going to be a difficult thing to do when your owner and your head coach, your offensive coordinator, and your general manager all come out and back your current quarterback, and then you go and you get Peyton Manning. Now, am I going to be disappointed if the Jets get Peyton Manning for 2 years? No, I'm not. The thing that's about it is the Jets still owe Mark Sanchez about $23 million, and about half of that is guaranteed.
I'm not saying
you're paying Mark Sanchez. You're taking up cap space with Mark Sanchez by having him on the bench for about $12 million a year.
I think he gets traded. I think that's a 3-team trade.
Nobody's gonna take Mark Sanchez.
No one.
I not unless the Jets were willing to pick up all of his guaranteed money, which they wouldn't.
Seattle wouldn't take him.
But now you're playing the Pete Carroll. I mean,
I didn't even think of the Pete Carroll. That makes it even more likely.
Okay, but the Jets
aren't.
You
give him a quarterback he knows.
But Mark Sanchez was good. The Jets aren't going. Mark Sanchez is very good. He had 32 touchdowns this season.
How many picks?
18.
Here's my problem with the Jets and Sanchez is this. The Jets were so successful, and you'll agree with me, the last 2 years because they ran the football.
Yeah.
They came out in the offseason, they spent money on receivers, and look what they did. They put the emphasis on Mark Sanchez and said, you carry this team. Forget Sean Green's progress. Forget LaDainian Tomlinson being one of the best backs of all time. Forget about Joe McKnight having a great season. You're going to give it to Mark Sanchez. That's not how he won. He is not the Peyton Manning. He is not the Brett Favre.
He's not an elite quarterback. He's not Tom Brady, Drew Brees,
You're Matt right, he's
Stafford,
not.
Eli Manning. He's never going to be up there, but he can be a 3,500 yard, 25 to 30 touchdown guy with 12 to 15 interceptions.
He's a play action quarterback.
He is. He's a bootleg. He's a play action bootleg quarterback who is very, very mobile. He doesn't run as much as Michael Vick or Tim Tebow or Cam Newton, and he shouldn't. But he's a pocket passing quarterback who is very mobile. But the thing is, he would have had a better season this year if he had his offensive line from the last 2 seasons.
That's true too, and I'll give him that.
He would not have fumbled the ball as much. He would not have thrown as many interceptions because a lot of his interceptions were thrown because he thought he was under duress when he really wasn't, and he rushed a lot of plays.
Now, talking Peyton Manning being traded.
Go back to Peyton Manning. It depends because you got to look at it. Right now, the Colts have 11 weeks. I believe Peyton Manning is owed a roster bonus by March 28th. Okay, and it's March 26th, and it's a $28 million roster bonus. Okay, he's signed for I think another 4 or 5 years, and what they have to really think about is, do we draft Luck? Do we draft Robert Griffin III? And if we do that, do we get rid of Peyton Manning?
I say, and this is an easy sell to me. Yeah, Peyton's done a lot for your organization. Easy sell to me, the Colts fans. You get Andrew Luck, and you get a lot. You're going to get rid of Reggie Wayne. You're going to get rid of Robert Mathis. Get young. You're going to sell. The biggest problem with this franchise, and this is why I think it's even more, that the Polians were fired. They allowed the franchise to get so old and stagnant.
Yeah, but do you really think that somebody's going to be able to get that they're going to be able to get a first-round pick right now for Peyton Manning if they say he's healthy.
I'm not saying they're going to get a first rounder, but I think you can at least get a third.
But they either have to trade him, and nobody's going to take that trade because if they trade him, then whatever team picks him up owes him that $28 million roster bonus.
Or it's a conditional.
But if they don't give it to him by that date, then he becomes a free agent. Right now, Peyton Manning holds the leverage. If he's healthy, he could force their hand to either pay him his money or he becomes a free agent. He can go wherever he wants to go.
He's not going to get the free agent money.
He's not going to get the free agent money, but he could get the free agency.
But I think he realizes this though, that if there's money, I mean, the only way he's going to make money is if the Colts pick up his option, and if the Colts pick up his option, he's going to be willing to do a sign and trade. Now the thing with Peyton though,
but he's already signed. It doesn't need to be a sign and trade.
No, but I mean, pick the option up and trade. What I'm saying, this is what I think though, is that it's not going to be about money for Peyton.
It isn't.
No, because
he's going to want to go to a contender,
and a market that, I mean, let's face it, he's gotten billions of dollars for playing in Indianapolis. Can you imagine if you went to New York, how much money more you make?
Yeah, but you're talking about a 36-year-old Peyton Manning who has probably less than 4 years of quality NFL football to play if he stays healthy.
Right.
I would rather take a healthy, young, developing Mark Sanchez over a one-hit from retiring Peyton Manning.
That's a valid point. But we're going to end this segment right now, just like the Jets ended their season. We got NBA coming up for you.
A lot of other teams that ended their season, man. There's a lot of other teams.
It wasn't mine, but it was yours.
I just want to say, okay? I just want to say, all right, we will do later on, as the NFL offseason progresses, a full first-round mock draft eventually. And I can tell you right now, no matter what, Andrew Luck is going number 1 overall on James Harden's mock draft. That's all I got to say.
We'll see. I had the surprise last year. Stay tuned. Part 3 is coming up with the NBA.